Hi, in this video we are going to see about Microsoft Visual Studio complete installation, and this is going to be a step-by-step video tutorial. So now let us dive into the video quickly. Hi, in this video we are going to see about how to install Microsoft Visual Studio in Windows 10 or 11. So just go to your browser and type Microsoft Visual Studio download. So here you can see the first one, visualstudio.microsoft.com. so this is the Microsoft Visual Studio. Kindly note that don't confuse with the other one, that is Visual Studio Code. You can see the second one, that is Visual Studio Code. So Microsoft Visual Studio and Visual Studio Code is different. So the Microsoft Visual Studio that we are going to see is the IDE that is used for the .NET application, and this one, the other one which I said Visual Studio Code, is a lightweight code editor. So don't get confused with that. So now let us go to the installation of our thing, that is Microsoft Visual Studio download. So we'll be getting into this page, visualstudio.microsoft.com downloads. So here you can see currently the current version is Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. So here we'll be having 3 different versions, and as of now we are going to use community version. This is free version, so there is no need to pay. If you're going for professional or enterprise, you need to pay for it. So now let us go for the community version. So just click this free download button. So now it will be navigated this thank you page. So now you can see the Visual Studio setup application as for downloading. So just I'll save it in the desktop. So now it is being downloaded into the desktop. So here you can see, which is around 24.6 MB. So now let us double click it, so as to run. So now you can see it is asking to install. Let me click yes. So now the Visual Studio installer is performing. So now you can see Visual Studio installer. Before you get started, we need to set up few things, so that you need to configure the installation. So just click the continue. So now it is getting ready, and kindly note that make sure you have active internet connection. In this whole process you need lots of internet to be downloaded, so make sure that you have sufficient internet and it is very free, so that it will be completed very soon. Now after some time you can see this installing Visual Studio Community 2022, this page, installation details. So this is the important page where you need to select the components that is required. So here you can see basically they have categorized and given web and cloud, desktop application, gaming kinds of thing. There you can see ASP.NET, Azure Development, Python, Node.js and other things. And also now we are going to select only for the our need. So I'm going to select ASP.NET and web development, and then we are going to use this for ASP.NET, and for desktop application we need .NET desktop environment development, and for the database connectivity I'm going to select this data storage and processing part. So other things whichever you needed, you can select it. You can see whenever I am selecting each one, you can see that size here it is increasing. If I am just deselecting it, you can see it is 10.54 GB. Now if I am selecting this, you can see it is 11.89 GB. So whichever part component you wanted, you need additional space required for it. So this is the total space required. So here you can see 11.89 GB. So make sure that your hard disk is having the sufficient space because in case if you are not having the sufficient space, and then the installation will be interrupted in between. So now I am selecting 3 different components, that is ASP and web development, the first one. And then in the desktop application I'm selecting .NET desktop development, and then in the other tools I am selecting the data storage and the processing part. So I have selected these 3, and here you can see the location. I'm going to leave this default one. If you wanted to change it, you can just click this change and you can change the location whichever you wanted. I'm not going to do anything, so I'm just going to leave it as the default one. So now here you can see in each component, if you wanted some other a component other than the default one, you can also select that components, but I'm not going to do right now. I'm just going to leave all the things default. So now I'm going to install it. So you can just click install or install while downloading, whichever you wanted. You can just do it. I'm just going to click this install now. Here you can see now it has started downloading. It takes, or it needs around 3.31 GB and some more, so around consider 4 GB. So make sure that you have sufficient data or have the speed internet, so that the process will be completed very soon. In case if you're not having proper internet or the data, it may be interrupted. So that's the reason I'm saying you it again and again. So now once after completion, now let us check it out. So now you can see it has downloaded the packages and now it is installing. It is 15% completed the installing. So let us wait till it is completed. So now you can see this message, done installing. Visual Studio has been successfully installed. We recommend rebooting soon to clean up any remaining files. So it is going to reboot. So now you can see this all installation are up to date, and you can see modify, launch, and more options. So now I'm going to just launch it. So just click this launch option. So now you can see this sign into Visual Studio. So it asks for sign in or create an account, and skip this for now. So for this time I'm just going to skip this. So just click this skip this for now option. So now it asks for the development setting. So you can select whichever you wanted, web development only or VC++, Visual C Sharp, Visual Basic, JavaScript, etc. I'll keep that as general default, and choose your layout color theme. So you can choose dark or blue or light, whichever you wanted. I'll just go with the dark, and just then click this start Visual Studio option. So now let me type Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. Now you can see the startup screen, Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. So this is the screen you can see for the first time. So now we have successfully installed Microsoft Visual Studio 2022. So now let me create a sample project and let us check it out. So just click create a new project. So now here you can see create a new project option, where you can see the console application. So now let me select this console application and then click the next button. So now it asks for the project name. So now let me give the project name as project 1, and you can see the location. If you wanted to change the location, you can just change wherever you wanted. And now let me click the next button, and you can select the .NET framework, whichever you wanted. So default I'll just leave it, and then click create. Now it is creating a new project. So now after some time you can see the program.cs file, which has a default console.write line written as hello world. So now let us click this start without debugging, or you can click this project 1 run button. And now you can see the output hello world is printed correctly. So now we have successfully installed the Visual Studio, and also we have checked a sample program which is working perfectly. So in the next video, let us see about how to install Microsoft SQL Server and other things related to this .NET. And this is all about this video of Microsoft Visual Studio 2022 installation, and thank you for watching.